Amanda Makula. I'm an associate professor at the University of San Diego, and I serve as the Digital Initiatives Librarian. And I will also let Michael, my colleague, introduce himself.
Hi, I'm Michael Conley. I'm the Digital Initiatives Assistant at the University of San Diego. We work together in the Digital Initiatives Department.
Yes, we are Digital Initiatives at USD. So, good morning. And so our presentation is called It's Your Repository Too. Encouraging campus-wide ownership through a distributed workflow. And you're going to give the institution. Here's the slide.
So yes, the University of San Diego is a private Catholic institution just up the road. We have around 10,000 students. We have both undergrad and graduate programs, and we fall into the R2 Carnegie classification. Our Digital Commons repository is called the Digital USD, and we started around 12 years ago in 2014. And we recently completed a site design along with our consultant, Kelly. She was very helpful implementing it. And we worked with our campus team as well to create some of the graphics that match our campus-wide graphic standards. And we think it looks a lot better. Yeah, much more visual, yes.
A little bit more about Digital USD. Right now, we have around 34,000 items in there. We're hovering around 4.4 million downloads. Really, I would say the greatest strength of our repository is the breadth, because we decided early on, actually before I even came to USD, that there was just going to be one platform. And it was going to have archival content, special collections, faculty scholarship, student scholarship, ETDs, and then a lot of administrative reports, bodies across campus that wanted to add material. It was sort of like a one-stop shop. That was the vision. And then when I came on about 10 years ago, I was glad that they had made that decision. I thought it was very wise. And like I said, that has been sort of our strengths going forward. And it's grown a lot in a few different ways. Word of mouth, when someone is happy with the success of something that they put in there, they see their downloads grow, they get excited, they tell their colleagues, and they tell other people on campus. We also have a system. Our library is structured so that the library faculty are, almost everyone is a liaison librarian or an embedded librarian to a specific school or unit. And so in that sense, they're all serving as ambassadors, and they can talk about the repository to their specific schools and departments and get buy-in and excitement that way. So the problem, quote unquote, that we were facing, a challenge that we were having was, again, there's two of us, but there was more and more interest in the repository. The more things that we put in, the more interest that it ignited. And again, there's two of us, and sometimes we'll have student worker, but you know, that isn't consistent necessarily, that we would have a student worker. And so we were having a lot of interest and success, but then we experienced some workflow strain. And we're also, in addition to our work with the repository, we're also doing other things as well. Obviously, like as a faculty member, I'm on a lot of committees. I mean, like what Todd was saying, you know, you're stretched kind of thin. And this is one major aspect of my job, but it's not the whole thing. And Michael is also involved in archival and special collections work. So we sort of had what I would call a little bit of a strain on this. However, it is a good problem to have. I mean, interest was kind of starting to snowball, and so we had to think creatively about, well, what are ways that we can address this? So just to open it up and ask you all to think about, we would be curious to hear from you. Are you or is your team having trouble keeping up with the IR workload? Or do you find yourself holding back on outreach because of limited capacity? I see heads nodding. Okay, all right. Thoughts, comments? Does anyone want to? Yeah, I see some hands over here.
Yes. It's on. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. We're having trouble with workload, both with the just number of people that we have available to work on it, and that is just as you're saying, it's becoming so visible, and then it starts where everyone on campus starts coming to me and saying, I want this, and I want this. And I'm like, yes, you do, and I'll put you in the queue.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was interesting that you said earlier that they were all looking at it as though, oh, the keep, this can do everything for us.
I started getting HR questions. Yeah, seriously. People call me and say, oh, when did this one professor start? I don't know.
I mean, it's a constant juggling of projects, which one takes most priority, what needs to be most visible in that moment, who is most excited and I need to get the most buy-in from, what event is coming up, what journal is launching. Like, it's a constant shifting of what do I need to address right now.
Yeah, and I can say we did have a couple examples where I would have to say to somebody, oh, that's great, we want to do that. However, we're going to have to, it's going to be a few weeks till we can get back to you on this. And, it's never something you want to tell somebody, but yeah, so I hear you on that. Yes.
I'm a department of one, and this is not the only thing I do as a department of one. I'm also a department of one systems librarian, electronic resources, so it's not just managing multiple projects in digital commons, it's juggling multiple projects for the library and what takes priority. And I would love to have more stuff in digital commons, but I'm one person. And I can't do 20 things on top of faculty work on top of that.
Yeah. Okay, great. Well, then we'll tell you what we did, and we'll see what questions you have about this. Okay, Michael.
Yes.
Next.
So the thing that we love about Digital Commons is that it's not just a platform where we dump everything, It's also a service that can help us manage it. So we have a dedicated consultant, as you may know. Our consultant, Kelly, is really helpful with onboarding and training new people. So we don't have to handle a lot of the back-end stuff and some of the more repetitive tasks like that. And the way that we think about our workflow is that our digital initiatives unit talks to our consultant, and we also have collection level administrators across campus. So an academic unit may have someone that is the manager of their collection, and they also have their own way to contact our consultant as well as talk to us. So it distributes the expertise horizontally, and it's not really hierarchical. Like, we're not like gatekeeping the platform and being the sole people that can answer questions. There are more avenues to go.
Okay, so breaking it down a little further, what it looks like is, as Michael said, there's sort of three tiers, or there's three groups. There's our unit. There's, on the far end, there's our DC consultant. We work with Kelly Kunaniec. And then we have these people across campus. It could be a faculty member, it could be an administrator, it could be a staff person. These are people who, in essence, they manage their own collection within Digital USD, within our repository. So how it works is usually we start out, somebody, may contact us, or we may reach out to someone, hey, would you like to get this started? And so we do that sort of promotion and recruitment piece. We usually do an initial call with them where I like to show them existing collections in our repository so they have an idea of what they might want to do. Sometimes I might even show them somebody else's in a different DC repository, just to get them brainstorming and thinking about what it could look like. And I'll give them sort of an overview of the system and how it works, emphasizing that it is a platform that's pretty user-friendly, pretty intuitive. You don't have to be a tech mastermind, to use it. And then I will coordinate an initial setup of the collection that they want to make with our consultant, Kelly. And the collection level admins are really responsible for thinking about what they need and what they want with their collection, identifying a person or people within their unit that's going to actually learn the system and work on it. And then they're going to complete their training with Kelly, our consultant. Sometimes I'm there, sometimes I'm not. It sort of depends on the situation. And then Kelly, our consultant, is doing the back-end configurations for their new collections. She's kind of helping to onboard these new admins, answering their questions and troubleshooting as things come up. So we're all working together. We're all trying to have clear communication from the beginning. So we'll show you a few examples of what this looks like. We have a nonprofit institute at our university. It operates, and there's several people that work there. Connolly Meshin is the director of our School of Leadership and Education Sciences Sponsored Initiatives Incubator. And they have, several years ago, they started their collection. They created a page, the Nonprofit Institute, and as you can see, they have several sub-collections as part of their page. And they've put a lot of materials in, and they use it all the time.
So another academic unit that has their own collection and their own collection manager is the Institute for Peace and Justice. And we have 125 documents that they've kind of managed themselves to put in. And in addition, we also have the Ethnic Studies Department newsletter. We actually had some turnover with the person that was managing it, and we were able to onboard the new person, and it was very seamless, and they are able to take over the work from the last person that was doing it.
was already sort of that expectation of like, oh, whoops, your department uploads this, so now you're the new administrator, let's get you in the system, get you going. So what we try to think of is sort of like a paradigm shift from thinking of other people across campus not just as depositors, but as co-owners, responsible, in essence, for the success of the repository. We emphasize hands-on involvement and that we're sharing this responsibility. Again, I think Michael used the word gatekeepers. We're not doing that. We're not trying to micromanage. We're trying to encourage them. And that the expertise that they have with their own collections helps us to grow the repository. So by emphasizing this model of ownership, we do feel that it increases people's investment in the repository. More and more people know the repository. They know it by name. They know Digital USD. And of course, it also helps with sustainability because we're not the only ones putting the things in and getting the word out.
Yeah, so it goes from, like I said, from being a gatekeeper to more of a connector, and we're sort of connecting the campus between departments and kind of, you hear the word of mouth and it grows that way. Like you said, it's sustainable growth because instead of having like a new collection every time, you have like, how there's like a season where there's always like a bunch of dissertations. Imagine trying to manage more collections on top of that, So it's more that we're growing, but our workload isn't growing, which is great. And we become less of a siloed unit and more of a partner, allowing people to have control over it.
So, really the key takeaways are, as you probably know this, like as you have success, as you get new things started and the word gets out, it creates new demands, and it's more work and it's more energy and it's more time. And with those new demands, we have to think creatively about how we're going to address them. So we encourage you to use your consultant strategically. They have so much knowledge, and we have just found that a lot of times Kelly will even think of things that we hadn't considered. So it's great to have that service that they provide. And it's the mindset of training for ownership and buy-in and not reliance, that it's not like, oh, well, in order for me to change anything in this collection, I must contact Amanda or Michael. They know how to do it themselves, and then if there's something they need to do that they can't do, then Kelly can help them with it. So, and just to design workflows that scale with the interest. So as the interest grows, you're doing something that hopefully encourages more sustainability in the long run.